Print on demand does not mean sales on demand. And if you're thinking about getting started, there are some things that you need to know before you start the side hustle in 2024. Print on demand is an online business that consistently makes me an additional $30,000 a month. And even though I was able to make it do what it do, print on demand was not my first business. So I had to learn it just like I was a beginner. And if I had to start over and be back in those beginner shoes, there are a couple tips I feel are important to know in order to start reaching those $1,000 plus days with your own print-on-demand store. And the first of those is understanding the designs that you're selling have to be wanted and in demand. This is key to making sure you get the most traction on your store. I feel like most people who open a print-on-demand store just do it because they have a cool design or they just want to build a brand. That's great, and you definitely can sell cool designs and build brands with print-on-demand. But that's going to take time and traction to build up an actual customer base that is putting money into your pockets. So if you're looking to make sales while you build up your brand or sell the cool designs, then this is what you're going to want to do. Pay attention to the designs that are doing the best during certain times of the year on major print-on-demand sites like Etsy. By understanding the trends that consumers are looking for, even when it comes to the clothing that they're buying, the more you'll understand what to be selling and when to be selling it. Let me show you what I mean. If we head over here to Google Trends and we search for something like fall pajamas, you're gonna see that this trend has already came and gone. And this data tells you that it's gonna be pretty hard to hop into this market and start selling fall themed pajamas since consumers are literally just not looking for it anymore. Now on the flip side, if we search Christmas pajamas or even winter pajamas, these are two things that we know are coming up. We're gonna see that the trend of consumers searching for these type of products is just getting started, that the barrier to entry is low, there's not as much competition as there will be in just a couple of weeks from now, and if you start selling a product that falls within that search, now you can catch the trend and start seeing the sales rolling in. And there's even tools out there that help you know the products that are selling well on Etsy, so that you're able to come up with designs that fall in line with what consumers are purchasing. Since we verified the trend on Google Trends, we would now head over here to Etsy, type in Christmas, and find any design that you want to look into. I'm gonna choose this one just because, well, it's the Grinch. From there, I'm gonna open up a Google Chrome extension called Everbee that's gonna tell me how many sales they're getting. And as you can see, they've only been selling this product for 1 month, and they've already generated almost $3,000 in monthly sales in their first 30 days. You can imagine how that number will increase over the next couple of weeks. And if you start selling something similar to this product, you can likely expect the same thing to happen to you. This just further leads me to the point of needing to understand that print on demand is more than just selling cool designs, and instead is moved by consumer trends, wants, and needs. Now, the next thing that you need to know about print on demand is that the targeting and the marketing that you do are insanely important to the success that you're gonna have. If you're setting up a print on demand shop with Shopify and you're running ads on Facebook, then it's very important that you know what type of audiences will be interested in the print on demand product that you have. So in order to do that, I suggest that you have some detailed targeting with the ads that you're running. And if you're familiar with Facebook ads, then you should be able to pretty easily follow along. But if you're not, then this is where you're gonna wanna head after you finish this video, so you know exactly how to get these ads up and running. Now, in testing your designs in the market, you wanna test it towards different Facebook interests to see which one is performing the best for you so you can continue to build on that. So let's simplify that down, okay? What this means is that you're gonna test out 5 or 10 different interests in a CBO campaign depending on what your budget is. For this example, we're gonna test out 5 different interests for this Grinch sweater. So to set this up, the first thing you're gonna see is your ads manager. What we're gonna do is we're gonna come over here and click on create, sales, and then click on continue, and then we're gonna go ahead and click on manual sales campaign and then click continue again. We want to go ahead and name our campaign. I already named mine Grinch sweater cold interest testing. Now, as I scroll down, you see this thing say advantage campaign budget. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this on. And turning that on is what turns on the CBO, which stands for campaign budget optimization, where you're putting the budget on the campaign level and you're letting it disperse across the best performing interests that you have. So since we're testing out 5 different interests, I'm gonna go ahead and set this budget at $50. Now, if I was gonna do 10 interests, I would have set it at 100, and so on and so forth. That's all we're gonna do for the campaign level, and now we're gonna go ahead and set up the ad set. So next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and click on the ad set level. We're not gonna go ahead and put any ad set name because we don't know what interest we're targeting yet. We're gonna go ahead and select our pixel. For conversion event, we always wanna go ahead and do purchase. We wanna set this up at the following night at midnight to allow it to get a full spin. For countries, I do like doing the top 5 countries, so United States, United Kingdom, Australia, Canada, and New Zealand. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change the age to 21 through 65. And then right here where it says advantage detailed targeting, this is where we're gonna go ahead and select our interests. So from here, you can think about what interests that you wanna do, and you can keep it very simple. Just think of like Christmas, Grinch, and things like that. Or you can also use AI to your advantage to just make your life even easier and speed up the process. So I came over here to ChatGPT and I said, I'm selling selling a Grinch sweater and I need Facebook detailed targeting, and I want you to go ahead and give me 5 to 10 interests I can target with. And as you see, it spit me out all types of different audiences. So I can just take these and go ahead and input them now. So the first one I went ahead and put in was just Christmas shopping. And as you see, it says estimated audience size of 14 million to 16.5 million. And what I'm always looking for is that every interest I test is over 5 million. I'm gonna go ahead and copy the name of it. I'm gonna come back over here to the top and I'm gonna go ahead and name the ad set after it. After I name the interest, I'm gonna come back down to the bottom. For languages, I wanna do English because I wanna make sure that people can read my ad. And then I'm gonna keep this on for advantage placements, and I recommend that you do the same. Now here we are on the ad level, and this is where you're gonna go ahead and input your ad, the ad copy, the headline, and etc. And I definitely recommend that you're utilizing what is already working on the market. Now, once we go ahead and input that, remember, we're testing 5 interests. So we need to go ahead and find the other 4. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and click on these 3 dots and click on duplicate, and then click number of copies and do 4. Because I already have 1, this is gonna equal out to 5. And the only thing I'm gonna do different here is I'm gonna input a different interest so I can target different people and see which one performs the best for me. I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest of them and I'll be right back. Now, as you can see, I now have all 5 of my interests in here, from Christmas shopping, Dr. Seuss, holiday event, online shopping, and a Charlie Brown Christmas movie. And the entire point of this is to find interests that are going to make you sales and drive you that profitability that you're looking for. And once you find those interests that are making you sales, you just want to get rid of the ones that are not, and then continue testing interests that are related to the winning interests that you've already found, so you can keep building up your data, keep getting in front of the right types of audiences, and continue to keep making sales. Being able to identify how to get in front of the right people who actually want to buy the product that you're selling with the system I just showed you is really going to help set you apart from other beginners of print on demand and give you that competitive edge. Now, the next thing that you want to know before starting print on demand in 2024 is how to determine who you should have as your supplier. Now listen, understand that suppliers make or break your business. I had to learn this the hard way when consumers were receiving the product that I was selling a month or so later than I actually said they would, and absolutely hated the quality. And there are 2 main suppliers when it comes to print on demand, and that is Printify and Printful. If you're using a site like Printify to fulfill your orders, it's very important to know that they use third-party suppliers. This is very important to you because this means that you need to do something called supplier validation. So you can be 100% sure that this is a supplier that you can be dependent on for the success of your business. So once you're on Printful, you can see that once you have a product that you want, it's gonna give you a list of suppliers that you can actually fulfill your prints with. And in that list, it's gonna tell you where the fulfillment center is located, what star rating they have from other people that have used them, the average production time, and how much it usually costs to ship the product. Depending where you're shipping to is depending on where you want your store to be located. If you know that you have more of a US customer base, then a US fulfillment center would work perfect for you. But if you know that you're shipping more worldwide, you might want to find a fulfillment center that is overseas and has cheaper shipping rates to customers worldwide. Now, the star rating of the suppliers is out of 10, so you want to make sure they're sitting at least at 9.5 or higher to know that this is a supplier that others have had good experiences with. And lastly, when it comes to the production time and how much it costs to ship the product, you have to do what is fitting and most profitable for your business. Now, obviously, a 30-day production time is not going to help your business thrive, but you could probably work with a 1 to 2 day production time to keep your customers happy. And when it comes to your full cost of goods and your shipping price, you have to stand by the 2.5x rule of thumb. So if you're able to get this product right here for $8.67 and the shipping is $4.60, then you need to be able to sell the shirt for 2.5x the total cost that's gonna take you to supply it. So if you take both those numbers and multiply it by 2.5, it's gonna give you $33 and some change. Now listen, if that price is too high compared to what other competitors are selling similar print-on-demand products at, then from here you could do 2 things. You can either find cheaper shipping or cheaper product costs from a different supplier to meet the margins that you need to meet to be profitable. Now on the flip side, you have fulfillment sites like Printful, where you actually send a bulk amount of your products to them, and as orders come into your store and are paid to be fulfilled, they will print, package, and ship directly to your customer, all without you having to hold any inventory or needing any warehouse at all. This is a great option for someone who's been in the game a little bit longer, has a little bit extra money to spend, and knows that orders are going to be coming in consistently. Either way that you decide to go, the supplier that you choose is detrimental to the success of your business. A great supplier keeps things running smoothly and customers happy, so you can keep selling and making even more money. Now lastly, just like any other business, there are 2 things that you're for sure going to need if you plan on having any success with your print-on-demand business, and that's capital and consistency. Now, do not get me wrong, print-on-demand actually has a pretty low startup cost. The entire business model is built in a way that you do not have to pay for bulk items to be made, but instead you can just print off one customized product at each time that it's ordered. This ultimately cuts back on a ton of expenses that include things like product costs, shipping, and storing. But just because there's a low startup cost to the business, That does not mean that you don't need any money at all while getting started. And if that's something that you've been told, I hate to tell you, but they're setting you up for failure. Outside of just thinking about the product cost, you also have to think about other expenses like your storefront, your domain, the apps on your store, and of course, advertising. I always suggest that if you're starting out with no knowledge at all, you start with a budget of around $800 to $2,000, which is going to give you a little cushion room for any mistakes or run-ins that you might have. Now, once you have the funds, you cannot get anywhere without some consistency. Even if you're starting print on demand as your side hustle, you have to have the mindset to treat it like your business. That means you can't not just skip out on a couple days and just not touch your store at all. That means you have to be willing to put in time to figure out new consumer trends that might be coming up, and you have to spend time creating new designs and running your ads. If you come into your print on demand store with the mindset that it's just gonna be something that you can make a bunch of money from without putting in too much work, then you're going to be sadly mistaken. Come into the business with a plan. Set times that you know that you can work on your store throughout the week, and the mindset that you're willing to put in some work to make it work. And I guarantee you that if you do those 3 things, you're gonna gain more sales and outlast a lot of the competition that's in the market. The decision to start your print on demand business is one that can absolutely change your life, simply because there is millions of dollars being spent by consumers on print on demand products, and you have the opportunity to be on the receiving end of that. But coming into it, knowing the ins and the outs of what most people do not tell you, is gonna help you start off with the right mindset and the information that can help you take it to a whole nother level and start generating the same sales that my students are getting every single day. And now that you have the 4 things that I wish that I knew before I started my print on demand store, I'm gonna let you go ahead and get to work, because these same 4 things are what took me from barely making any sales to grossing over $30,000 a month. So there's no time to waste. Don't forget to show me some love with that like button, and go ahead and comment in the comment section what your biggest takeaway is if you like this video. I'll see you guys all later. This is AC with Supreme Ecom, and I'm out.
They gon' want a piece when you got it like that. Like Jake said, we gon' spend it, get it right back. Stack that internet money till the site crash.